We talking about a road with no signs, road with no guides, but a road without structure. It's a road without lines, road where sometimes dry you walk, road without smiles, but a road where me show so it's a road without lines, road where sometimes dry you walk, road without smiles, but a road where me show so it's a road like some of them would choose a road 'cause it's full of a roads, full of a sign, but straight and look nice, yeah. And them say, Irie, why you go the highway, then go left, but you choose to go right. Well, this travel is about how windy this life is. Nothing is certain, you know what I mean? But especially with music, you never know where you're gonna end up. You don't know who you're gonna meet, what you're gonna do, if you're gonna eat, you know what I mean? You're gonna go for a long time suffering, you know, I know that. But it's something that you really have to devote your time to, your life to. So when I decided I wanted to do music, we've been going hard with it since then, putting in a lot of groundwork, performed like all over Boston. Yeah, man. So let me introduce myself. I go by the name Mista Irie. To all my Habashas out there, a nice link. Ba Ethiopia me alachu ba America, ba Marcato alachu ba Piazza. Nkwana bro aderesan la wala shi sabat. Fikr na andinet. That's what we represent. And that's what I want to share with the world, you know. One love, unity, strength. United we stand, divided we fall. So I come from Ethiopia, the birthplace of life, you already know. I was born in London, lived in Cameroon for about 2 years. Then I moved to Addis when I was about 2. I grew up my whole life in Addis, preschool to high school, man. Bingham Academy represent, you already know. I thank God every day I was raised in Ethiopia, man. It gave me a sense of stability, like a sense of roots and culture. We are raised with respect, you know, like respect for our elders, respect for our peers. And it really gave me a respect for life too. Growing up, I remember always wanting to help people. I remember seeing all the poverty in the city, the sufferation, families living in the streets, and it really used to bother me. It used to make me feel physical pain, you know. I knew I had to do something about it, but I never knew how I could contribute. I thought I'd be a doctor, but it turns out chemistry is not for me. I thought I'd be an engineer and follow my dad's footsteps, but it turns out that was short-lived as well. I finally came to realize that a classroom couldn't hold me, like, or an office life, you know what I mean, couldn't satisfy me, and I knew I had to do something else about it. So yeah, music caught up to me much later in life, actually. I was always in love with music. I remember always singing, never could stop singing. And people would always say, you have a nice voice, man, you should sing, you should do something about it, but I'd be laughing. Baby girl, won't you come away? It became a little more serious 2011. I just dropped out of Northeastern University in Boston. I was there for like 2 years, and I found it really hard to cope with the study and being away from home. And I just realized how much I hated engineering, so I didn't have the heart to tell my father. So in the midst of all of that, I kind of fell apart for a little bit. I was struggling, I was depressed. I went back home for a few months. I really became anxious during that time. I would stay away, I wouldn't go out. I didn't know what I wanted to do in life. There was so much pressure of being like successful when your parents set such a high standard for you. So I felt like I failed. I felt like I couldn't fix it. But around 18 somehow, and for some reason, I don't know, I felt the need to grab a pen and start writing down some stuff, like my thoughts, my pains, my worries. And I think it was subconsciously too, because my dad used to tell us to write. He used to be like, pick up your journals, write down everything you do every day and document it, be detailed about it. And we used to hate it, but I guess it was for a reason. So I just kept writing, man, every day, everything that came to my mind, and it came out like poetry. Like one day my mom brought me to the table and she told me, read one of your stuff to my aunt. I guess she heard me rehearsing it out loud or doing something, and when I was done reading it, she burst out in tears, like she couldn't hold it back, and she started asking me questions, how I could think like this, how I could talk like this at my age. And I don't know, after that I knew I had to do something about it. So I came back to Boston. I was looking for music schools. I didn't know where to go. I found the New England Institute of Art. I went in for one interview, man. I saw the equipment, I saw the music, I heard the studio bumping. I was like, yeah, I had to come here. So I signed up. I came January 2012. And it wasn't really till I started that I realized how in depth the school would go into the engineering side of music. I find it funny how I was like trying to run away from engineering, but I got caught up being an engineer. So yeah, man. So that's how my music career really started. Within the first few months, I linked up with this African brother named Tonde. He's from Zimbabwe. I was from Ethiopia, so it was only natural. We clicked. We got close over some reggae music. It was natural. It was over this Chronics concert. He was coming to town, and he was so passionate about it. I was so passionate about it. So I started thinking about it, and we linked up and we decided to do this radio show. We were like, we need to hear more reggae music around town. So we started Fire Wednesdays. Every Wednesday, 6 to 9 p.m. and sometimes Saturday morning, 9 a.m. to 12, like every weekend for like a whole year.
At the building. Wagwan, beautiful people, you don't know. Irie vibes every time.
Yes, I do something to lead somebody, you know. Yes, I am mature music for mature people, you know. Bonte Conte, me ready and steady, and alongside Mr. Irie J. Cuba, you know. We bring straight up vibes, Rebel Press representing, you know.
Yeah, man, it's a thing okay, you know. You know, this is Silver Spring Rhythm. Long time. Hold on. No way.
Sometimes we're feeling it would just stay there all day, man. It was fun, man. We started building a real following in the school department, like the radio school department was really falling off. Nobody was doing anything with it, so we brought it back to life.
Okay. Pull it back. Check it.
Every day up on the scene again. Come fi spit it and wreck it up on your mic again. And if you feeling on my vibes, better call your friends. We coulda blaze a reggae party at the park again. So yo, how about you take a little talk at the smoke? Let it caress your mind while me tell you a joke. You see this little thing them want fi call.
And we brought the Rebel Press idea to life. So Rebel Press is like a publication of truth, of rights, you know, not through print or magazine, but through music. And I came up with Rebel Press Sound, creating something conscious, creating something elevated.
Don't be shy. We are the road, we go in a trust.
I've been recording a lot of music, so I thought about it and I said, let me put a project together, a mixtape, something bigging up, you know, the big rhythms, everybody out there. So I came up with Listen Up. And Listen Up was really about taking a look into yourself, being really deep with yourself and thinking about who you are, why you are, what you want to do with your life, what your goals are, you know what I mean? So I came up with Listen Up, and it's really about listening to your inner voice and your intuition before something crazy happens to you, before you fall down the wrong path, you know what I mean? One of my favorite songs on the mixtape is Vent. Vent is about letting out your heart, man, speaking on things that affect you, that stress you out, that make you angry. For your friends and family who's struggling, trying to pay the rent, you know what I mean? Everybody knows that struggle, everybody can relate, so let it out, you know what I mean? Vent, scream it out to the world before you lose it.
Say I say your I said vent, I said vent, I said vent, and me brother said I said vent. All my brothers in the struggle and they trying to pay the rent. I said vent. When you're feeling kinda down, when you're feeling kinda sad.